Hi everyone, this is Kathy Mamelin, Psychic Medium. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to ask my spirit guides for guidance for feelings and thoughts for my twin flame or my no contact. What is going on in this connection? What is my person thinking and feeling? I do have some charms and some initials, so we'll be using those. But let's get started. Let's see what's going on in these connections and take with you what connects to you, leave the rest for everybody else, of course. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome to anybody that's been newly guided here. Spirit, please share with me some honest, brutally honest. I want brutally honest feelings. Brutally honest feelings. I can handle it. Spirit, please share with me. I'd rather know the truth. I mean, there's a sense of I'd rather know what's going on than wasting my time with waiting for somebody. Spirit, please share with me what is going on. I give up. Maybe that's you, maybe that's them. You know, sometimes you just feel that way. You know, you're just tired of trying. Like, how much more effort can I put into this? So sometimes we just do want to walk away, and then unfortunately, our heart doesn't walk away at the same rate as our mind is saying, just let it go. I've got a I'm so sorry. Okay, some kind of an apology. You're right, karma bites. Okay, so they're getting kicked in the butt. This feeling of life is kicking me. And I am feeling the consequences now. Spirit, please share with me. I have please don't go. Okay. I know you've blocked me on social media. I know you blocked me on the phone. I know that I can't reach you for some of you. I'm sorry I hurt you. I regret it more than you will ever know. Okay, is that sincere, Spirit? Is that going to be sincere, or is that just a way to get back what they had? Maybe we move too fast. Let's take things slow this time. Sometimes that happens. You start spending all kinds of time with somebody right out of the gate, and after a couple of weeks, the person starts to feel suffocated or smothered, or they're like, where was I 2 weeks ago before all of this started? And you're thinking, this is great. They want to be with me all the time. And it's, you know, we just are falling in love fast. And then they're thinking, what happened to my old life? And they start missing their old life, and they didn't have a chance to transition from the life that they were living as a single person into being with somebody else. It just happened too quickly. So they freak out and they push somebody away. So if you had a very fast-paced energy and it turned over very quickly, that's probably what happened. They just were like, what happened to my life? Like, all of a sudden, I'm like all in to a connection, and I didn't know that that's what I really was signing up for. I listened to old voicemail messages. You've left me when the silence becomes unbearable. What I'd give to have you here to talk to, and I miss you so damn much. Absolutely. It's hearing your voice. I feel like that is always a breaking point. And I always feel that if I were to hear your voice, that would just push me over the edge. Because I could tell just by your voice whether you were still in love with me, whether you were interested, whether you were pushing this away still. So a lot of times people will hide behind those text messages because of that reason. They're afraid to hear your voice. They're afraid that the emotion in your voice is going to break them, and they're trying to keep this distance. So that's when you have to say, I'm not interested in having these conversations on a text message. Spirit, please share with me. Hearing my voice. I miss you. I know you blocked me. I'm sorry. It's just so complicated. I'm going to say, what have we gotten ourselves into? Because what have we done? Maybe we didn't know it was going to end up here. Maybe starting out, everything was fine, but it was complicated and there were other things going on. And all of a sudden we realized, like, this is just turning into a bee's nest. So when it's complicated, it's sometimes very complicated. Spirit, please share with me. I'm ready, willing, and able. Are they ready? They would have to step forward and say, I really want this. I feel like that's what needs to be said, that they have to prove to you that they really do want this and that they feel like they're really missing out on something now. I'm still working on it. Okay, there's the complication again. I'm still working on it. We could have taken a break because you could have said, hey, you know what, take care of your unfinished business. I don't want anything to do with it. And when you are in a better place, more available, you're ready, willing, and able, then we can move forward. Believe in divine timing. I know that you don't want to hear that. It's like meeting somebody new. No contacts work the same way. I do know that no contact, if it's working well and it's going to work, usually the mark around 45 days to 60 days is kind of that breaking point. Without any breadcrumbing in between, Spirit just said, without any communication, that seems to be the window that if they're going to come back, that would be about the time that they come back. No distance will keep us apart. Okay, so will I travel the distance? I don't even know if it's necessarily like a physical distance or an emotional distance. Like, will I go the distance to be with you? Healing from a heartbreak. I know you're trying to heal. They could be staying out of your life because they don't want to make it worse. I know that you don't want to hear that, but sometimes in their mind, they think if I call you or I text you, it's only going to start those emotions all over again. Deep, dark times in isolation, and I need this time alone. We do need time. We need time to decide what it is that we want. You only want to be with somebody who wants to be all in. True love stories never end. I love that. True love stories never end. Let's see what the cards are saying. Spirit, please share with me. What is it that our person wants us to know? I have a 10 of Swords. I have an Ace of Swords. I have a Devil. And I have an Empress. I feel like this 10 of Swords and the Devil are the reason. Whether it's somebody crossed the line, somebody cheated, somebody has addiction problems, somebody is just not respectful. They're not doing the right things. So that led to the break. Something had to give. It's a feeling of, I haven't stopped thinking about the ending. I haven't stopped for 1 second thinking about what you said to me, what I said to you, the words left unsaid, Spirit just said. So the words that we should have said to each other, sometimes we don't even get closure. So some of you might not have closure. And it is a feeling of, I keep reliving those past comments over and over again. What could I have done? What could I have done differently? What could I have said differently? How did we get here? How did it get so far? I have an Empress. I'm also thinking about this is coming into me as I have an eye on you with that big eye. I haven't stopped thinking about you. I'm definitely going to go with, they are keeping a close eye. There's whether they are stalking you, whether they are talking about you through friendships, family. But I feel like they're still keeping a very close eye on you, that they just want to know what you're doing. Now, it could be under the umbrella of I just want to know that you're okay. But there's a part of me that says, I just want to know if you are really moving on with your life and you want to be with somebody else. Let's get some initials. Maybe we'll get some confirmation. These are initials and some numbers. So the numbers could have meaning as well. So we'll get both. I have this big basket of letters. So let's get some first initials, last initials. Give these a little stir. Okay. And let's see. If they connect to you, let me know in the comments. I always love that. If they don't worry about it. They're just clues. This is a general reading. I have an H, A, Z. I have a D. I have a letter B. I have an O. I have a D. An L. I have a P. I have a Z. H. Okay, these are all numbers. I have a U. I have another H. I have an I. And then I do have some numbers. I have the number 6. I'm going to say the month of June. I have 42, an age. Could be an age. And I have a number 5. So it could be May. It could be 5 days, 5 weeks, something like that. So we'll just go with that. But those are your letters. So let me know if those connect to anybody. I always love to hear if they're going to connect to you. Okay. Spirit, tell me more about the situation. Where are we at? I have my eye on you. Okay. So somebody who doesn't want to be with you anymore, doesn't care what you're doing. If they're keeping tabs on you, they're kind of tracking your every move still, that tells me this person is kind of like, they don't want to miss anything. What the F? What the F? She's screaming. Don't even know how to react. Now, this devil energy, this could have been something pretty serious. This could have been, they're saying caught in the act. What is caught in the act for some of you? What does that mean? That you literally caught them and that you have evidence of cheating or infidelity or wanting to be with somebody else? I mean, that's really hard to overcome. I have unexpected, running into a lost loved one after a long period of time. So that felt more along the lines of no matter when I see you, if there's been years in between us, I feel like we let go of all the hurt and we just hug each other and are excited to see each other and can't wait to catch up with each other. And I feel like we just want to hold each other in each other's arms. So there could be a big delay. There could be years between this connection for some of you. I have questionable. There's more questions than answers. I have a lot of questions. If I have a what the F, I have a lot of questions. And I want to get to, they had said this is going to be brutally honest. You know, that was how I asked Spirit. So I have a lot of questions that you need to answer. I've been down in the dumps. I'm not in a good headspace. I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling sad. I thought this was going to be easier than it is. I didn't realize that pushing you away was going to cause me so much pain. So what did they think was going to happen? I always say, I have a purse, clings on to you, but doesn't want to open up. So they need to open up. If I ask them some questions, if I want to know honest answers, and I need you to know, I need to know the truth. This person can't just say, I don't know, or it meant nothing, or it doesn't matter. It does matter because it happened and it's hurtful, and you're not going to be able to move on until you have the facts. You'll just constantly be thinking, and you could be thinking the worst. You could be thinking it's worse than it is. Spirit, please share with me. I have Wooza, ready to snap, needing to relax. Okay. Yeah, somebody snaps. It's like pent up energy. I couldn't handle it anymore. And then that goes back to, I can't stop thinking about the last time I talked to you. I can't stop thinking about the last time we saw each other. Somebody snapped. Somebody got very upset. Something like that. A random person or a situation. They didn't mean anything. That's always that's like a cop-out, isn't it? They don't, I love you. They didn't mean anything. It was just a fling. It was just a one-night stand. Not good enough, right? Not good enough. Spirit, please share with me. What is it that you need me to know? What is it that you want me to understand about this connection? Tolerating abuse, any kind of abuse is not okay. You deserve someone who treats you well. Not being honest with you, is it abuse? Is it disrespect? It depends how often it is. It depends on, what the history there is, like somebody who's just constantly cheating on you, constantly getting caught, constantly coming up with these, apologies and excuses. But certainly none of us deserve any kind of emotional abuse or disrespect. I mean, that's something that you have to have a higher value for, that I'm not going to allow anybody. Getting hurt. All love comes with the risk of losing it. Don't be afraid of loss. Take a chance. This broken candy lollipop. When we fall in love, we do risk getting hurt. And that's where we're at right now with this no contact. I fell in love with you. What did they say a minute ago? It was this feeling of what have we done and what have we gotten into? So there could have been circumstances. There could be a situationship. There could be lots going on around this connection. And then you have to ask yourself, what was my part in it? But we do take the risk of being hurt, of course, entering into any relationship. Unavailable. You're chasing someone who's unavailable, or you are the one who is running away. So are they truly available? Do you really feel like they're giving you your heart? Are they, I always say, emotionally available? That's key. Are they ready to give up their play life? Are they ready to give up their single life and their freedom just to have a committed relationship, so that you can have trust and honesty? So are they emotionally available? They might not even be cheating on you, but they're not sharing their feelings either. So that's not emotionally available. So whatever has happened in this connection. Expectations. When you expect too much, no one measures up, ditch your list, want what's real. This feels more like your person accusing you of nothing I do is ever good enough, is how I feel. That they feel that no matter what they do, you're never going to be happy. And I feel like they use that as an excuse, even when they're not really even trying. It doesn't matter because no matter what I do, you're not going to be happy anyway. So therefore, I'm not going to try that hard. So it feels like, yeah, you have expectations in a relationship. I expect you to call me if you're not going to come over. I expect you to let me know you got home safe, or that you confirm that you're going to be here at a certain time. And if you're not, that you're going to call me and say you're running late. I have expectations of how I want to be treated. So if this person says, well, I can't do that, that's like, above and beyond my capability. Are they emotionally available to be in a relationship? It's just like common respect is how I feel. I have a 5 of Swords. I have a Page of Cups. I have a Knight of Pentacles. And I have a Devil. The Devil came into me as giving up for some reason. This feeling of giving in, giving up. Maybe you don't believe this person can change. There could be a part of you that says, I would love to see the fighting stop. I would love to have a start over with this person. I'd love to have those new feelings back. But there's a part of me feels that even if they are putting in the effort, you just feel like this devil's going to come back. So it's the person who, even though you want them back, in the back of your mind, you're just so afraid it's going to happen again and again. So how do you get rid of that devil? I mean, that's the trust. That's I just don't know how I'm going to get back trust. So maybe you don't know how you're going to do it right now at this moment. It doesn't mean it can't happen because trust is built. So, but right now, maybe in this moment during this reading, when you're listening, it's more of a feeling in the back of my head. I just feel like they're going to hurt me again. And that's something it's really hard. It's really hard to think that, how do I be with somebody, love them unconditionally, be all in, when something in the back of my head is, what if it happens again? So you have to overcome that. You're the only one who knows this person, if they're being genuine and honest and sincere with that. I have a 10 of Wands that feels like it's going to be a long journey to do some healing. A lot of weight on my shoulders. The moon's coming into me as I'm really starting to fear that you're going to move on and you're not going to be able to ever trust me again. Will you ever trust me again is kind of the big question. I have a Fool. So that's more of a hope. I hope we can start over. I hope that we could try again. And I have a 3 of Pentacles. And it's interesting because in this particular deck, you can see it's almost like a tug of war between these 2 little elves. So I'm going to say, and I don't read the 3 of Pentacles this way very often, but it feels like there's the complication. I gave you trust. I admired you. I respected you. I thought we were a great team. There's some interference there. I have a Chariot, bottom of my deck, 7 of Cups, and a 3 of Wands. So let's take a look at those. This is a feeling of you being on the fence for your own future. That they're saying it's going to take an act of God for this person to say the right things. And otherwise you are going to move on and you're going to say, you know what? They're not the only person out there. I deserve more. I want more. But it was almost a feeling of they had better start jumping through some hoops, and they have a lot to say. There's a lot of questions. So Can it move forward? Yeah, it certainly could move forward. It could pick up speed. They're even saying it could come back, and we could pick up speed with this kind of train shooting down the track energy. And we could move into our future together and put this behind us. Hey, a lot happens in relationships. We're human. And nobody knows what you're going through but the two of you. So you're the only person who would know that when you hear their voice, when you hear what they have to say, that it's sincere and legitimate. Let's get some charms. Maybe we have some charms that will connect you to this person, or some additional messages. But right now I've got this, I think, person who has realized that actions have consequences. And this is an example of they're feeling the consequences. Maybe they didn't think that it was going to push this so far away, but something has happened, and it really has created a wedge between us. Spirit, please share with us. I have the E. I have a U. What is this? I have an Aquarius. I have a Gemini. Okay, I have Santa's sled. It came into me as they're coming bearing gifts. Now, just remember, they can't buy your love. They can't show up or say, I have something for you that they know that you want, or that they know that you couldn't say no to. Maybe it's presents for your kids, and you would feel bad. Here's a little boy, and they show up with a child's birthday present. Well, I have a birthday present for the baby, the child. So you can't say no to that, because it's not for you, it's for somebody else. But you know what they're doing. You know that they're trying to get back in your good graces. They are trying to show you somehow that they are connected to you and your family. They are, in a sense, trying to buy your love. And so I guess you want to be careful with some of those things. But they may show up with some kind of unexpected gift that is not necessarily for you. Like I said, it could be for the kids, if you have kids. Because they could have a relationship with your kids, but it was a feeling of, that's my foot in the door. That's how I'm going to get back to you, is show you that I still have a relationship with your kids, and I love your kids, even if we're not together. So I feel like that's the foot in the door, something like that. Okay, I have beach chairs and I have a palm tree. Now that's coming into me the same way, that it's almost an offer to take you away. That let's go on a vacation and talk. Let's go away for 4 days. Let's go away for a few days and spend some time together, alone, in paradise. Well, that's all fine and good, and it does sound exciting, but it's not the real life that you're in, because there you are on vacation. It's romantic. You have no other cares in the world. You're staying in a hotel. You're going out to eat. You don't have daily responsibilities around you. So it's not really the real world that you live in. So it's not really a good idea to say, let's go on a little vacation to try to repair things, because that will help us, because you're putting yourself in a fantasy space trying to work on a relationship. And then when you come back, you bring everything back into your real world. And you're like, well, it was so beautiful when we were away. Yeah, because it was, a vacation. So there's something going on with that, but somebody may offer you, I want to take you away. Let's spend some time together. Let's see, we're not over. We're not done. Let's do something, let me show you. I feel like it's an offer like that. I have an apple and I have this nest, and part of me feels like it's apple orchards. Maybe we live somewhere near apple picking. Maybe that's a memory that we had, that we always go apple picking every year. But it feels like, birds, bird nests, nature, trees, woods, apple orchard, apple trees, peach trees, something like that. So maybe it's a farm near us that we always went to. Maybe it's a fond memory. I'm just going to put it in that category. I do have this champagne bottle, and I feel like this person they're using the word anticipating a celebration. They feel that they can come back at any time. They feel that you're going to accept their apology. We're going to kiss and make up. We're going to have great makeup sex. We're going to open a bottle of champagne and everything's going to be fine. But we had all that feeling beforehand of, I deserve to be the only one. It's gotten so complicated. I have a lot of questions. I caught you in the act. You better start explaining yourself. So I've got one person who thinks like this is all going to go away. And I have another person who thinks it's not going away that easy. So let's see. Those are my charms. Let's see what the final messages are. These are very difficult days. I know they are, because we have a lot of mixed feelings. There's a lot of hurt feelings. And we often struggle with what is the best path to choose, and only you can choose it. Spirit, please share with me. I can't promise you anything. If this person, because it's complicated or some kind of unfinished business or a third party, can't give you what you want, maybe they can never give you what you want. You're waiting indefinitely for them. So be careful with that. I can't handle your love. It's too intense. I can't give you what you want. I have childhood traumas. I have a hard time communicating. I have a hard time expressing my feelings. I was hurt by you too. I feel like I want to say too. You hurt me too. And sometimes that's the case, that it's not just one side. It's, you said some things that were hurtful to me, and we went back and forth. I feel lonely, in agreement with that. You were right. I feel like there's something that you said they can't get out of their head. So whatever it is that you said right at the end, or maybe a message that you sent them, I feel like they keep reliving that. They keep thinking about that. So it could have been just one thing that you said that really got to them, really hit them to their core. And you were right. But at the time, I feel like they just threw a fit and were totally defensive and totally took it the other way. But whatever those sharp words were, or I guess very honest words maybe from you, they can't get that out of their head. I don't want to be alone. I feel like I want to say I don't want to be alone any longer. Okay. What is the truth? I feel like somebody's got some explaining to do. I feel that we definitely are not going to be able to move on, Spirit said, until somebody tells you exactly what has been going on, until you know everything. And they may not want to share everything. They may not want to give you all the gory details of something. And you then go into that category of, I'm always going to have in the back of my head that this is going to happen again. So trust is going to be a very difficult thing in this connection. Doesn't mean we can't. Doesn't mean that we don't have the willingness to try and to rebuild trust. But somebody has a lot of explaining to do. What's the bottom on my deck? Why do I deserve someone like you? You could be too good for them. And maybe it's a wake-up call for you that I deserve more. My higher self deserves more. My future self deserves more than being treated a certain way. So maybe it's a wake-up call for you too. But only you can decide, Spirit just said. So we're going to put this out into the universe. Difficult readings, difficult days, difficult emotions. Take care of yourself first. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. If you are new to my channel, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Comment below, claim it, own it, it's yours. If anyone would like to book a private reading with me, please check out my website at kathymamolinspsychicmedium.com. Also check out my other two channels, my main YouTube channel and my Pick a Card channel. And I'll put the links in the description or in the comments for you. We'll see you all again real soon. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.